Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. Again, my name is Bob, and I just wanted to mention uh, something that I've noticed on YouTube among a lot of these influencers. They've run out of ways to tell you how to build big arms and big chest and big legs and everything else. So now they've resorted to critiquing each other and in some cases bad mouthing each other. Now, admittedly, some of it's pretty funny, um, and some of it is a little bit, below the belt. But all in all, these guys do have a lot a lot of information to impart, and a lot of it is good. Some of it, as I mentioned earlier, is redundant, and some of it is just out and out false. Now, one of my favorite YouTube influencers is Dr. Andrew Huberman. Dr. Huberman has been on YouTube for several years now, and I managed to catch one or two of his shows during the week. And recently, he had on as a guest a neuroscientist by the name of Dr. Peter Attia. Now, the show was titled The Top Exercises to Boost Longevity and Reverse Aging. So I want to mention a few things that both doctors had discussed. And the reason I'm doing this is because in several of my previous videos, I had mentioned some of these things that they're talking about. So it's kind of like vindication or validation. So, for example, one of the things that Dr. Huberman had brought up, one of the subjects was nutrition and how people should eat when they're exercising. So, Dr. Attia was describing the confusion that people have when they try to analyze which kind of diet that they should be on. So he's saying, people wonder, should they be on a vegetarian diet or paleo diet or carnivore diet or a vegan diet? And he basically said the same thing that I was saying, that the first order of business is exercise. You've got to get your exercise protocols or your 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 exercise scheduling or whatever. You need to get that in order first. You need to develop consistency in your exercise program, especially when it comes to weight training. And he also mentioned something very interesting. He says these are secondary considerations, which is something that I had mentioned in a previous video. And he was saying things like, if you can deadlift your body weight for 3 reps, if you're able to dead hang from a chinning bar for at least a minute, if you can wall sit, in other words, you sit up against a wall in a sitting position and hold that position for at least 2 minutes, if you can hold a squat position for at least 2 minutes, no weight, of course. And he described an exercise called the farmer's walk, which basically is you're walking with 2 heavy dumbbells for roughly 3 minutes or so. So he mentioned a percentage of your body weight as far as the dumbbells are concerned. So he says, when you can do all this stuff, then come and see me about nutrition. All right, vitamins and supplements and all of this stuff. And basically he kind of validated what I had been saying in several videos of my own. I said, listen, there's no point in getting involved with all of these secondary, how many sets, how many reps, how many days a week, how many, You've got to get into the gym, and you've got to get that in order first. And once you've developed that consistency, your exercise consistency, then you can start getting into some of these other modalities. You also mentioned sleep. Sleep is also very important. At least he says 7 hours, 8 hours, but I have found that over the years that I think the older you get, I think you can get by pretty much on about 6 hours, sometimes even five. It depends. I mean, if you're feeling okay and you have your high energy levels, and you're able to function normally on about 5 or 6 hours of sleep, I think that's plenty. Now, when he mentioned all of these things like deadlifting your body weight for 3 reps, dead hang for a minute, wall sit for 2 minutes, hold a squat position for 2 minutes, the farmer's walk and all of that. What he said was that these paradigms are basically for 40-year-olds. So by the time you're 40 years old, this is what you should be looking to do before you get into anything else as far as your fitness regime is concerned. I'm almost twice that age, and I'm able to do all of these things that he mentioned. So I think his standards are a little low, but nevertheless, if you can do all of these things before you start worrying about all this other stuff. Okay, so basically get into the gym, like I've been saying, get in there at least twice a week. 3 times would be better. Split routines where you work half your body one day, half the next. You work that over a 6-day period, or you do a popular split routine where you're working your shoulders and arms on Monday, your chest and back on Tuesday, your legs on Wednesday, you take Thursday off, or you repeat it. Okay, these split routines came in at the same time steroids came in. These routines that you read about in the muscle magazines, these champion bodybuilders are using these, who knows where they came up with these routines, but these are not meant for people who are not using performance enhancing drugs. So the operative words is performance enhancing. These drugs are designed to enhance your performance. So they also will help you to recuperate a lot faster. That's one of the prime reasons for taking them, where you can do all of this work. Now, after the Second World War, the American middle class started to grow at a rapid pace. Along with that came more leisure time. The more innovations that came along, the more leisure time people were able to take. And when you're young, you're living at home, and you have nothing better to do than go to the gym, then that's what you do. It's better than what these kids are doing now. They're sitting around doing this all day long, and they're hypnotizing themselves with social media. Back in the day, you didn't do that. There was none of that kind of a distraction. So, but these split routines are not for people that are training naturally without any kind of performance enhancing substances. You're better off working your whole body. Stay within about 4 to 6 sets, 3 to 6 sets. And you're in the gym no more than 45 minutes to an hour. And you should be able to do your entire body within an hour, roughly on average 3 to 6 sets per exercise, per body part. You can do all that with just basic exercises. Now, once you're past that intermediate stage, when you develop a body where people are suspicious, okay, that's when you might want to consider using drugs only for competitive purposes, only for competition. If you're not going to be competing, there's no point in it, okay? People who are competing now are making 6 figures, 7 figures, the top bodybuilders, top professional bodybuilders. They're taking these drugs to make this kind of money, but they're going to regret it, okay? Again, there are several YouTube sites that cover all of these bodybuilders that died before the age of 30. Most of them, a lot of them, by the time they're 40, from steroid abuse, from abusing their bodies, working out 6, sometimes even 7 days a week, twice a day, 2-3 hours a day. This is not normal. This is not for your everyday bodybuilder who's interested just in gaining strength and a certain amount of muscle mass, recompose the body. This can all be done over 3 days, working the body for an hour, 3, maybe outside 4 hours a week devoted to bodybuilding. These guys are all over YouTube, these professional bodybuilders that are training for contests. They're dying on the inside, okay? They're dead men walking, a lot of them. They look great, have fantastic physiques, okay? But take a look. You people who know something about the history of the sport and have been following the sport, especially the competitions, you see what some of these guys look like now, okay? I don't want to go into it. It's all over YouTube. Help yourself. Great champion bodybuilders now are like, they're dropping like flies, or they've been forced to take off a lot of this muscle mass because they're getting sick. A lot of them are on testosterone replacement therapy because they screwed up their own hormone, their own natural hormone production. When they went off the drugs, their hormone production did not come back to normal. So now they have to take these drugs for the rest of their lives. You don't hear that, I'm telling you. So again, I just wanted to pass along some of this information that I picked up on YouTube, Dr. Huberman's channel. I strongly recommend that you watch his channel. There's a lot of really good information on there. And so I just wanted to share this with you to just kind of validate some of the things that I have been telling you. So that's it for now. Again, if you can't deadlift your own body weight for 3 repetitions, if you can't hang off of a chinning bar for a minute, if you can't squat if you can't hold a wall sit for 2 minutes, if you can't hold a squat position for 2 minutes, if you can't walk with heavy dumbbells for 3 minutes, stop worrying about everything else, okay? You don't need any sophisticated nutritional regime or special supplements to be able to do this minimum protocol. So that's it for now. I just wanted to share that with you. I'm going to be sharing some other information that I picked up from some of these other influencers that I think you'd be interested in. So that's it for now. Stay strong, get stronger. Again, just build up that momentum, start working out, and stop worrying about all the extraneous, all the secondary considerations. And stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Hasta la pasta.